Morning, friends. Welcome back to West Fork. Had a good day yesterday finding this tamarack log. I've been wanting a shave horse for a long time and decided before the snow flies I'd like to build one. Got some good planks out of it yesterday. Got 4 nice planks. This 2-inch plank here. And if I clean that up a little bit, I think that'll be a good bench. The main bench for my shave horse. Cut a couple thinner planks so I can make some carved legs for it. It's coming along. Bench is pretty much finished except for a few little details. I want to round some of these corners off a little bit. I got this other board here for the slope on the shave horse, so I'll do some more work on that. It'll be attached there and sit about like this. But yeah, I've been wanting a shave horse for a long time because I have a bunch of carbon projects that I could really utilize this for. The bench is 18 inches tall, nice and sturdy, 52 inches long, 52 or 3 inches long, and this was the smaller, the thinner plank, the second thickest plank, and it's plenty thick. I think it turned out after I planed the top down about 1.5 inches, a little over 1.5 inches. I'm just planing the surfaces that'll be exposed. It's a lot of work using that hand plane, and I found out I wish I had a much bigger plane. I have my dad's old smooth plane that I scrounged up after he passed away, and I put an edge on it, and using that to smooth these rough cut planks out with. They're turning out pretty good, except a much larger plane would be much easier. Well, I did a little reading and I decided to make this Bodger style shave horse, where we'll have these swinging arms here with a cross member going across, so that when you push the bottom with your feet, it'll clamp between the slope and the little cross piece. So for that, we've got to get some parts manufactured. Okay, so I've decided to use an eye bolt to attach this sloping board to the bench, an eye bolt and a pin. So I cut a notch here for the eye bolt to fit in. The eye bolt will be connected to the bench here. It'll fit in this little recess, and I drilled it out so we can install a pin through there. That way this will slide up and down so we can adjust it for different sizes of wood. I brought that in about 1.25 inches. So let's just bring this in 1.5 inches where it's strong enough, somewhere in the middle here. Yeah, that fire feels nice. It was 21 degrees here this morning, middle of October. It's getting pretty chilly. I wanted to get this done before the snow flies. And that way I have something to do in the winter. If I want to bring this inside, I can do some carving. Well, that eye didn't work. Wasn't long enough to go all the way through, so I'm going to use this lag bolt eye screw. I drilled it out a little bigger. This is a lot heavier duty screw, but just something they had laying around. Something I saved in case I ever needed it. So it'll just be a little sturdier than I planned. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just hope it turns out right. Yeah, that'll be really stout. Yeah, that should do it. All right. There we go. Well, that was easy enough. We got the bridge installed, and now we're gonna have to figure out a way to how to put these pivoting arms on here. I've been thinking about this. I think I might just try to find some big lag bolts and install one on each side, and maybe cut a piece of this leftover tamarack for a cross piece like this. That was a lucky find. I found these old black iron lag bolts, and with square heads, so this will look really authentic. I'm not sure where I got these square head old school lag bolts, but I even found some nice old rusty washers to put on them. It's gonna look, I want it to look like a, well, eventually this thing will get gray and it'll start looking more vintage. Just snug that up a little bit. Oh yeah, that's gonna work great. I could have carved these pegs into the cross piece, but I had these nice hickory dowels I ordered for something and it didn't work out, so I had this left over. So I'm just gonna glue one into each side of my cross piece here, and I think it'll be just as strong, probably stronger, because this hickory will never break. It's not perfectly straight, but it's pretty straight for a hand drill, and it'll sure do the trick. All we have to do now is to drill some holes in these pivot arms, and I think it might be easier to install these now. Just slide them over the shave horse and bolt them into place. Oh yeah, that's nice. It's a good snug fit. Well, it would have been a lot easier. Could have been a lot easier if I would have started with some plans, but I really didn't want to spend any money on this, and I wanted to use hardware and wood that we had on hand, or wood that I could harvest out in the forest. That went together easy enough. Now we just have to take a seat and see how it fits. Good morning. I'm standing here with the completed shave horse this morning. Had a cup of coffee this morning and I finished what we need for the riser. And I decided to keep this piece of firewood because I liked it. It has a really cool shape. It's just kind of perfect for sliding in there like a wedge. So I peeled it down this morning, planed the bottom flat, and I installed a little handle for it. That's sloping up just a little bit, so it'll be easy to grab. Yeah, it's kind of cute. And fits right in here. And it holds that bridge right in place. So yeah, during the video, I didn't know what any of this stuff was called. Any of the parts. Because I was just learning as I go, and I hope you appreciate that. But now that I have it in front of me, I was trying to get to know it a little bit, and I wrote down the parts of the shave horse. This is a Bodger shave horse, which has this crossbar and a foot peg at the bottom. So anyway, the parts of it, and I'll go through the measurements in case you want to build something similar. The bench, of course, we built that in the first video. The bench is 18 inches tall, and it's 54 inches long. I thought it was 52, but I guess I left it a little longer. It's 54. It's probably a little too big for me because I'm not super tall. But if someone with long legs wants to use this, there'll be plenty of room. So I put 3 legs on this one, which I recommend putting the 3rd leg on the front. You have a lot more weight in the back where you're sitting. So put 2 legs back there. Those legs are drilled at 15 degrees, so it just splays them out slightly. And I drilled the holes for the leg splines 1.25 inches. And those are secured with wedges. So yeah, you can use anything for legs. I got kind of fancy and I wanted to do something pretty. And I put kind of an octagon shape to them. But you can use tree branches. You can just use 2x2s or anything you can get your hands on. And they don't have to be tapered. So yeah, so the width of the bench is 13 inches. It doesn't need to be that wide, except I wanted to keep the wane on the outside here because I wanted to remember the larch tree where this came from. I wanted to keep it rustic. I rounded the corners off a little bit, but I didn't do anything fancy. So then I tapered it down after about 2 feet. And I made it parallel here. It's 8 inches wide on the front where the working mechanism is. So yeah, the overall length is 54 inches. So let's move on to the bridge. That's this part here, or the incline. And this bridge, I made it 7.5 inches wide. And it's 21 inches. 21 inches long. It's about 1.5 inches thick. Kind of varies because I didn't plane the bottom. I just planed the tops of these boards. Same with the bench. It's got all kinds of thicknesses, but at least I got the top fairly level and it's flat and pretty smooth. A little bit of tear out. It isn't a piece of furniture, it's a tool. So anyway, the bridge, I cut a notch here that's centered for the eye bolt to fit in. That notch is square, or it's rectangular. It's 2 inches long and it's 1 inch wide. And so that, I put a pin through there. So anyway, that's about it for the bridge. We got the riser right here that I completed this morning. I think this would probably be about 4 inches tall. Mine's 3 inches. So I've got to stick it in there a long ways to make it engage. It could be taller. I got a lot of firewood, so I might make another one sometime. But after I peeled it and planed it, it got quite a bit shorter. So this piece, these 2 pieces are called the pivot arms. And those are probably the most intricate design-wise. The pivot arms are 27 inches long. And then I drilled the top and bottom holes 2 inches down from the top on center. And then these pegs are 7/8 of an inch, just because that's the size of dowel I had, and that's the size of drill bit that I had. And then also the bolt, the pivot bolt, 15 inches from the bottom. But I also have the bottom raised up from the floor about 1.5 inches, about 2 inches actually. So that's 15 inches. And from the top, it's about 1 foot down to the pivot bolts. I recommend those lag bolts. That worked out real well. I just shot one on each side and it worked out pretty well. So yeah, the only other part here is called the crossbar, or the grip. And this is about the size of a 2x2. Mine turned out 1.75 inches. And then as you saw in the video, I carved a little V-notch, and that's to hold round stock, like walking sticks or anything round like that will fit in there. But you can also rotate it so that the flat part of the crossbar fits against your work. So I think that about sums it up. I'm going to cut these off, these top pegs off. I'm going to leave them out, sticking out about 3/4 of an inch, but I'm going to cut them off shorter. In case I ever want to disassemble this, it'll pop apart real easily. But yeah, to take this off, all you have to do is remove the pivot bolts, and it just will slide right off the end. So, turned out pretty cool. I'm glad I did it. I always wanted one of these things. So let's give it a try and see how it works this morning. All right, we got our handy dandy aspen branch here. I let my wife try this out this morning, and she said this was addictive and almost shaved that right down to the nub. Had to pull it out of her hands. So let's give it a try. Oh man, this is so much easier. Look at there, that's sharp. Yeah, I don't know how I could have, why someone would want to be into wood carving and not have one of these in the tool arsenal. Well, friends, it's about time for me to clean this mess up. I'll have another video coming out in the next week, so be sure to hit subscribe. Leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Till next time, peace, health, happiness. This is West Fork. Over and out.